Okay, so I'm really excited about this video. So I was a conservative Christian growing up until about a few years ago when I became an atheist and I came out as bisexual. One of the first steps that I took on that very long journey was changing from being anti-gay to supporting LGBT people. And this was no small step. After being immersed for over 20 years in an environment that was toxic towards gay people, it took something really powerful to shake me out of that mindset. And that powerful catalyst was being exposed to conservative Christian gay people. Now, I know what many of you are thinking. Do these people actually exist? Yes, they surprisingly do. To make a long story short, it was mind-blowing to see someone who lived in the same world that I did, yet who just so happened to be gay. They were like me, so it was easy for me to sympathize with them and to put myself in their shoes. After I did that, after I tried seeing the world from their perspective, I found that I had no reason to be working against them, and I had every reason to support them. My guess is that the best way to help conservative Christians be more comfortable with LGBT people is to have them form a personal connection with them. Since this is what happened to me, I am convinced that conservative Christian LGBT people need to be more visible so that there's a greater chance of change happening. So I have put together a list of 8 LGBT people who I think have a big chance of making a huge difference. Now, I want to make it very clear that straight people can also be very effective LGBT advocates. But it's important to point out that the majority of conservative Christians probably don't know a gay person personally. So I think it's critical that they don't think of a stereotype of an LGBT person that they have in their mind, but that they think of someone who has a name, a face, and a life. In no particular order, at number 1 is Peter Thiel. He is well known for being an entrepreneur, an investor, and a philanthropist. He is a co-founder of PayPal, the first outside investor in Facebook, and a billionaire. He is also gay and has talked openly about it.
Every American has a unique identity. I am proud to be gay. I am proud to be a Republican. But most of all, I am proud to be an American.
At number 2 is Ambassador Rick Grenell. He was a U.S. spokesman at the United Nations and is the current U.S. ambassador to Germany. He is also gay and is currently the highest-ranking openly gay official ever in a Republican administration. At number 3 is Blaire White. She is a YouTuber who currently has over 475,000 subscribers. In her videos, she talks about politics, culture, and her personal life. She is transgender and has openly talked about her transition process in her videos.
Since doing YouTube and everything else that I do online, I of course have gotten a lot of emails and messages from people from around the world of really all different walks of life, but of course, being who I am, a lot of LGBT people message me. Whether it's a gay person in New York thanking me for expressing political beliefs that he feels he may not be able to express where he lives, or a trans person living in a third world country seeking help and guidance, I really do get it all. And the emails that haunt me, the emails that keep me up at night, the emails that I cry over, are the emails that I get from LGBT folk in the Middle East. If you don't know, the Middle East is full of countries which are governed by religious law that make it incredibly difficult for LGBT people to exist in peace. Countries where it is illegal to be gay, bisexual, transgender, lesbian, etc. It's a very sharp contrast to the United States and other Western nations where even though there is still, some back and forth when it comes to the LGBT issue, the overwhelming majority of the people who live in the United States don't think that you should be arrested or hurt because you're gay or transgender.
At number 4 is Douglas Murray. He is a British author and political commentator. He is an associate editor of the British magazine The Spectator, and his most recent book is called The Strange Death of Europe: Immigration, Identity, Islam. He is also gay. At number 5 is Dave Rubin. He is a talk show host, and his YouTube channel, The Rubin Report, has over 880,000 subscribers. He is a stand-up comedian. He is also gay and often talks about this on his show. His husband is also a producer on The Rubin Report.
There has been a piece of jewelry on my ring finger. This is the thing that made Frodo go to the mountain and
Ooh, that's the
makes
actual one.
girls go completely bonkers. Yes, I got engaged about 2 weeks ago to my boyfriend, partner, I like to say guy I do some shit with. When people ask, well, why we do some shit together, you know what I mean? Who's also, his name is David, also,
Yes,
which people, they think it's just incredible.
We call you the Dave squared.
The Dave squared, we get the Davidses.
I like the Davidses.
Yeah.
I like that.
Well, David and I have been together for 4 years, which in gay years is actually 30 years. So there you go.
At number 6 is Sarah Longwell. She is the chairwoman of the Log Cabin Republicans and has served on its board since 2011. She has opinion pieces that have been published in the New York Times and USA Today. She is also lesbian. At number 7 is Guy Benson. He is a political commentator, an editor at townhall.com, and co-hosts the radio show Benson and Hoff. He interned at the White House under President George W. Bush and is the co-author of the book End of Discussion. He is also gay and came out publicly in a footnote in his book.
In this process of being on the book tour for 2 years and speaking to a lot of conservative audiences, I have been really struck by just the kindness and the sweetness that I've encountered from a lot of traditional conservatives who are not necessarily even on board for gay marriage, but are sort of like, oh, maybe we're sort of rethinking some of this a little bit. One story that comes to mind in particular that I enjoy telling was I was at an event in Denver a year and a half ago maybe, and we were doing a book signing. This was the hardcover back then. And fortunately, there was a long line, so people were coming up and they're wanting photos and that sort of thing. And there was this woman who was probably in her 60s, and she approached me and she got the book signed, and I could tell she wanted to say something else. And she didn't know if to say it or how to say it. And finally, she just sort of blurted it out, whispered a little bit. She goes, I have a nephew who's the way you are. And it was just this very cute way of sort of trying to just say, and I love him.
Yeah.
And that was her way of trying to communicate about it and just sort of pat me on the shoulder and say, you're welcome here. And, we've got your back. And
at number 8 is Rachel Hoff. She is a foreign policy and defense expert. She is also lesbian and was the first openly gay delegate to serve on the Republican Platform Committee in 2016. When she was on the committee, she advocated for LGBT issues to be included in the official party platform.
In high school, I chose to be a Republican. My parents are not Republicans, so I wasn't born this way. I chose to be a Republican because I believe in the same principles that you do: freedom, individual liberty, and limited government. I'm here 15 years later, still in this great party, despite the hurtful rhetoric and stance on these issues. And all I ask today is that you include me and those like me, and not exclude us, by simply acknowledging that thoughtful Republicans represent multiple views on the definition of marriage. Thank you.
Okay, so I've gathered a list of speeches and interviews that these people have done, and I've put it in the box below for your convenience. I'm going to finish by talking about the title of this video. I did not come up with the term gateway gays. I honestly found it on Urban Dictionary. But I think that the term gateway gays accurately implies that for some people, it is going to be a long process to shift their opinion on LGBT issues. But you have to start somewhere, and I think that these people are a great starting point. And please let me know in the comments if you think that there's anybody that should be added to this list. I would love to hear your suggestions. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you liked the video.